girls, this is Aromie here, and welcome back to Seduce Me Too. Last episode was a bit hot and spicy with little Sam over there. But now we shall continue on. I believe this is where we're gonna fall into the demon world. I felt myself drift through the darkness of slumber, both at peace and enjoying the warmth around me that it brought. I was tranquil, unable to feel anything but bliss. I love that I often had the chance to experience this kind of sleep, which was good since I was stressed about the upcoming wedding. I needed proper rest. However, as I floated through the dark, I could faintly hear the sounds of fires falling around me. I looked around through the dark, unable to see anything but blackness. What the... Slowly the noise began to grow louder and louder, unrelenting in its crescendo. I almost had to cover my ears from the sheer volume.
You think you can stop me, boy?
As I blinked, dark around me shifted into a burning room. Flames touched every inch I could see. In the midst of it all were Sam and his father, the demon lord. They were both wounded up. Oh, not wounded up. They were both wounded, but both were standing tall, confident as ever. Sam stood between me and the demon lord, protecting me from him. Still, I felt fear seep into my soul as I looked at the demon lord, smirking both me and Sam.
I will kill you, old man! I want to see you try. You don't even have the strength to save your precious human!
What? Before I could figure out what he meant, I felt an immense pain in my chest as something ripped through my back and stabbed through me. Sam turned towards me, horrified at what he saw, and I looked down to see a blade sticking out of my sternum. I couldn't even emit a whimper of pain as endless agony surged through my body, wrecking my nerves and distorting my vision. I could barely make out Sam arching back to scream at the sky, large flame-like wings erupting from his back. However, I felt my body give in to the pain and my vision turned black. I felt waves of agony crashing to my body over and over as I remained on the edge of death. When I was finally able to open my eyes, I could barely make out Sam kneeling over me, resting my head on his knees as tears ran down his face.
No. This can't be happening. No.
From the look on his face, I was really dying. How could this be? Why was this happening? His hands quaked in disbelief as he ran up one along my cheek and used the other to hold my shoulders. I stared up at him, gasping for air as blood seeped over my skin. I was dying. I felt it. I knew it. Sam wept, but continued to stare down at me, trying to keep me awake and alive with his touch. However, I felt that it wasn't going to last much longer. I winced at the pain and reached an arm up to Sam, touching his cheek. Sam shook his head violently, not wanting me to use energy to speak. I grimaced at the pain, but Sam continued to cry. My heart whimpered at the sight of his tears falling down his cheeks.
Please no. I love you. Please stay with me. No.
Oh, Sam, I love you. I wanted to wake up, but I didn't have the strength to fight this illusion. I became lost in the pain that was pinning my body down and draining me of the light.
I can't lose you! Please! Please. I love you.
My chest wouldn't allow me to breathe in anymore. All I could do was exhale my last breath and close my eyes. At his scream, I finally awoke, sitting up in my bed and finally being able to fully breathe again. I panted, feeling the need for fresh air to circulate through my lungs and chest. I ran my hand over my chest, feeling no marks and knowing that I was indeed alive and awake. But what of Sam? I looked at his side to see him still sound asleep, lost in his dreams, which seemed to be peaceful just from the look on his face. I let out a quiet sigh, closing my eyes and looking to the ceiling. It was just a dream, nothing more. It was merely a nightmare. I experienced them all the time. The more I thought of it, the more I could sense the fantasy of it. I was okay. We were okay. I ran a hand through my hair before lying back down, knowing that I would find solace in Sam's arms. As if by instinct, Sam wrapped both of his strong arms around my form, and I cuddled against his chest. We were fine. We were going to be fine. At last, the wedding day arrived. I was trying to read out loud as Anne read forward, so that I didn't know if I should skip or not. We had prepared all what we could, and everything was in order. Sam wanting to follow the human tradition and not see the bride before the wedding, headed to the venue and changed into its tux. I, however, was alone. I didn't ask Naomi or Suzu to help, and I honestly didn't want them to. I needed to be alone before my wedding, so I got dressed and made myself into the perfect bride all on my own in my own mansion. I stared at myself, seeing exactly what I wanted to see in the reflection. I looked at exactly how I wanted to look on my wedding day. I smiled, unable to shake the feeling of happiness from my body. I'm getting married. I let out a small sigh as relief washed over my nervous mind. Everything was going to be fine. As I heard a car honking outside, I felt nervousness creep in once again. I shook my head. I needed to relax. I grabbed the things I needed and rushed out, entering a white limousine. It was set to bring me to the venue, but I stopped the driver before he began to drive off. Can we stop somewhere first? The driver agreed and I guided him towards the cemetery my grandfather was buried at. It had been 2 years since he passed away. My personal visits to his grave has become fewer as time went on, but I had never stopped going. Today, though, was an incredibly happy day. I was so full of emotion. I couldn't help but visit his gravestone. After all, I was about to marry a demon. I was about to marry the man of my dreams, and I wanted to stop there before going to the wedding venue to talk to my grandfather. I'm pretty sure I looked odd in that cemetery wearing a wedding dress. However, I really didn't mind. I needed to come regardless. I stood by the grave, staring down at it with a smile. I'm getting married today, Grandpa. The wind gently danced around me, as if my grandpa ushered it to reply. My smile grew brighter and let out a sigh. I couldn't lie. I wanted my grandfather to be at my wedding, but I couldn't go back in time. Even if I was able to, how could I have stopped him from dying? I shook my head. I didn't want to think of that. Not on the day of my wedding. I hope you'll be there in spirit, Grandpa. I'm sure you'll... Before I could continue my sentence, the sky suddenly became dark, causing me to look up. Rain began to fall and patter against the stone and grass as a haunting bell began to chime. What boggled my mind was the fact that the rain was avoiding my body. It was like I was in a safe circle, underneath an invisible umbrella that the rain couldn't soak me or my dress. What the... Was this grandfather's doing? Why was it raining all of a sudden? The rain became heavy and I didn't dare move from my spot, afraid of what would happen. I looked at his grave confused and concerned. My eyes locked onto engraved stone. This wasn't a natural storm. Magic was at work here. My heart gave a quick squeeze in reply to my conclusion, but the word magic reverberated in my mind. Magic. I looked down and lifted my hands to scan over my gloved palms. My fingers began to tingle, almost as if that single word had unlocked something. Magic. I gently pinched the edge of the glove on my hand with 2 fingers and slid it off, revealing my bare skin. Nothing had changed, but I could feel that something was different. I could faintly feel energy zipping through the nerves under my skin, dancing in excitement at the word magic. I wonder... I knew Diana had taken away my energy and my magic before she left, but what if I still had some left? I raised my hand to the sky and focused on the back of my hand. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to see something. My mind quickly formed a word in my mind. I didn't know where it came from, but I let it fly from my lips as a soft whisper. Casino. As soon as the sound of that word rose into the air, the rain around me suddenly froze, as if time had stopped. The wind was still slightly blowing, but the rain had stopped. I slowly lowered my hand and looked around. Did I really do this? Before I could move again, the raindrops and the stormy clouds above began to fade away, returning to the sunny weather it had before. I looked around and noticed that the grass and the gravestones were all dry, as if the rain hadn't even fallen in the first place. That was...
I knew it! I knew it!
Okay,
Then quit talking and let the demon know.
we read this.
You.
Okay. We're gonna continue to cry. 'Cause I'm a crybaby. What about Diana? 'Cause we worry about Diana. Ask her if she's okay. We're gonna explore. We're gonna go right. And then we're gonna go left. I was heading right, so decided to try the opposite direction this time around. I turned left and headed down the hall, greeted by more fantastical doors. The hallways began to almost drive me nuts. I found myself going upstairs and downstairs and wound up in a four-way corridor. Where have I landed myself? I became frustrated. Maybe giving in to my curiosity was a bad idea. However, the sound of an argument traveled through the air and caught my attention.
And you brought me this. Why?
Sir, the Rebel Queen demanded it be brought here along with the other materials.
A flower is not important to the ritual. Throw it away or something.
But sir...
I don't want to hear it. Get out!
From a nearby door, a man dressed in a dark cloak, holding a white lily-like flower, practically ran out. He left the door ajar, but let out a sigh before turning to walk away, not noticing me. What the... Oh, it's this guy. I walked over and peeked in, seeing that the room was a library. It was huge, and in the middle of it by a table covered in books was a lanky man who cast a shadow spell before.
I know you are there, human.
How did he know? What? Was he able to smell me or something? The man turned to look at me from over his shoulder.
Please don't just stand there. If you wish to come in, then come in. I'm not fond of people peeking into doorways.
Well, you're no fun. Immediately I stepped into the room, not wanting to be rude. The man turned towards me and crossed his arms, taking in my full form.
Well, what may I help you with?
See, if we were in the demon world and we never met any of the guys, I would probably pursue this guy. Since the other guy is all over heels Diana. Huh? Oh, I was just wandering around. I didn't mean to intrude on anything.
You needn't. You'll be returned to the human world soon enough.
I bit my lip. He was right. I really didn't need to wander around if I was never going to return. Still, my curiosity was pulling me to explore the castle, and there I was, in a library. Well, I simply wanted to see more of the place I happened to land in.
I see. And have you found anything of interest in your little exploration?
I found this library, didn't I?
That you have.
The man turned back to the table as I took a moment to look around. There were so many books. It was almost dizzying to peer at them all. How much information was stored here? The man glanced at me as he continued to work on whatever he was focusing on.
I'm curious about something, human. Since you're here, you can answer this.
I turned back to the man as he straightened up and faced me once again.
Are you well versed in war?
Excuse me? What? That came out of nowhere. Why would he expect a woman in a wedding dress to know about war? No, I can't say that I am. Humans tend to try and stay out of war.
Truly? I'm surprised. I've heard that your world is ruled by multiple leaders and beliefs. How are you not constantly at war?
Well, that is true, that we all have different beliefs and leaders, but we try not to fight it out. There's things that we all agree on. Yes. From the tone of his voice, it almost sounded like he was mocking me. Did he think little of humans? I glared. We try and maintain peace because we all know we're different. We don't always agree on things, but we all mostly agree that war is bad, so we avoid it. The man took one more look up and down my form, most likely searching for some physical sign that I was lying or exaggerating. When he seemed to notice that I wasn't, he rubbed his chin gently as he leaned back against the table behind him.
Humans are such interesting creatures. You have your own societies and countries, ruled by presidents and governments. You are ununited, and yet you thrive. I wonder if the demon world can benefit from such a seemingly ignorant agreement.
What the hell are you trying to say? And hey, there's queens and kings too, and princes and princesses. Was he being serious right now? Why was he being stuck up? I crossed my arms, glaring harder at him. Why does it matter to you what the human world does? You're a demon. Things we do there doesn't affect anything here.
Ah, but that is where you are mistaken.
The man walked around the table and gestured to the books and maps that had covered its surface.
When fighting a war, you need to look at all of the details to try and find the most efficient ways to bring your enemy down. When resolving it, you must be able to not only bring peace, but you must also know how to manage the land you have conquered in the aftermath.
I looked to the map to see multiple routes and ideas plastered over the parchment. Was he seriously doing this much research for this war? However, the man simply crossed his arms.
Unfortunately, I suppose that research on the human world would be for naught. We are two different worlds, after all. Yours is built on steel and electricity, while our world is flooded with magic and stone.
Yeah, you guys have magic. You don't need electricity. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Why was he even talking to me at this rate? The man smirked at the agitated look on my face and chuckled. What's so funny?
I guess it's also true that humans are easily angered. Your expression gives you away so easily.
I growled before turning on my heel and leaving the library. Rude ass. This is the only time I will say it. He's so rude. I was better off in my room. It's cool. We're refusing it. This is where they fall in. Bam. They fell in. But that is the end for Sam's route. We now officially have 2 other routes to go, which are Eric's and James, which we have left to record on. But after that, that's gonna be it for the demo. Everyone's story is different. Well, the beginning at least. The beginning is different, and eventually it's all into the same storyline, and then it's gonna go different again, I believe. I kind of like it, but I'm not gonna say anything until I finish Eric's. Eric's the last one. That is when I'm gonna give my little hope for the game and the outcome of it. But thank you guys for watching. Stay beautiful, and I will see you guys in the next one.